Welcome back. It's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure review. Alright, so today from McFarlane Toys and their Spawn line of action figures, we are featuring the iconic villain, the Clown. Okay, so I already took this out of the box. The box was very large and cumbersome. But here we have the figure in its tray, and it looks incredible. He comes with this giant, huge backpack that has all these weapon mounts and accessories. It's kind of crazy. He comes with an extra pair of hands, 2 knives, and if you look underneath, you can see the display base. It's a gorgeous looking figure, incredibly detailed, and it really holds up to that McFarlane standard of excellence. You know, it's incredibly well sculpted. The paint application looks to be spot on. And it's just, this looks breathtaking. All right, so I'm going to pause this video for a second, and I'm going to remove all the contents because there's like a million ties holding this guy down. So just give me a moment, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Removing this guy from the package and all of his accessories was a nightmare. It was such an unpleasant experience. There were so many ties holding him down. But we have the Clown here in hand. And this thing is awesome. All right, so here are the accessories. He comes with the display base. We see this all the time with all of McFarlane's action figures. He has an extra pair of hands, 1 fist, and 1 open hand, which I don't know what the difference is between the stock one. Yeah, it's very... Are they identical? No, I guess they're slightly different. I don't know why you'd use this hand as opposed to... Yeah, they look almost the same, but they're just slightly different. Unless they're supposed to give me another hand and just gave me the same one, but I don't mind. You get 2 knives. You got 1 knife here. Nice silver paint application, serrated blade on the front and back. And then you get, which appears to be, it almost looks like a barber's razor, but this is not articulated. Here is the ridiculous backpack that you mount onto the socket in the back of the figure. And just give me a second. One of those plastic ties is kind of like, there you go. Yeah, this is nice finish. It's colored black, but it has like a metal kind of like dry brush effect, so it looks a little bit more realistic. And it's this, the one thing I like about this really embodies 90s action figures. You know, stuff was so overkill, and it's silly and it's kind of stupid, but it's fun in a cool way. And this mounts onto his back here. There's an unsightly socket, which this is the only thing that bothers me. I kind of wish they'd provide like maybe a cover for the back, because you know, if you don't feel like displaying your figure without, if you want to display him without the backpack, you know, you have to live with this weird hole in his back. It'd been nice if they gave us like some sort of plug to cover it up and hide it. But essentially, you just plug this in like that. And it doesn't stay on very well. Yeah, you plug it in, and then the weapons, I believe they're articulated. They're on these ball joints. Like here are the missiles. These other ones, let's see if we can get them out. Yeah, wow, these don't want to move. All right, so you know me, I'm always very hesitant. Some of these joints are very tight. Yeah, I'm gonna forego on articulating these weapon pods, because there's a hinge, there's a joint here, and it's supposed to rotate up. Or wait, there you go. Now it's a little bit looser. And then this goes out. Does this bend? Yeah, it's on a very tight ratchet. You can hear it snapping. And then does this... Yeah, this turn And then these go up, I think. Yeah, like that. All right, let me do the same to the other one. Yeah, these do not want to... That does not make a nice, pleasant noise. I don't like the sound of that. But that's how... I mean, they're articulated, so they're meant to move. But the ratchet is super tight. It almost feels like borderline like you're going to break it. And then this turns around. Like so. Does this articulate? Alright, yeah, this moves also. I apologize in advance. This is the first time I've handled this, so I'm trying to just figure out what can move and what can't. And every time I move something, it makes a weird cracking noise, and it's not, like I said, it's not pleasant. Anytime you hear any sort of snapping, especially with a plastic action figure, you always assume something is breaking. And I think this turns up like this. Yeah, so this action figure really embodies like that design sense of the 90s where everything was this overly done. You know, superheroes and villains always had like a million straps and pouches. They had bullets hanging from everywhere. And as cool as a concept as this is, I think the execution's a little bit poor. This doesn't hold on as tight as I'd like it to. It adds a lot of unnecessary weight to the back of the figure. But it looks neat. So here you go. You know, here's the clown. He holds on to the little remote control. And then he has all these wild weapons mounted onto him. Again, I would have liked it if, you know, for me, I just want to display the clown. You know, I might just forego on this crazy backpack, but I wish there was a way to plug this up. In terms of the figure, it's the clown. You know, he's the stocky, chubby, crazy, maniacal psychopath from the comic books. He has the ammo belts across his chest. A lot of pouches. Spiked boots. Very pale flesh tone. It would have been nice if they added a wash to his arms, because you could kind of see they sculpted in all the hairy texture, but it's kind of lost in the white. It appears there's a slight brown applied over it, but you're not really going to notice it. The facial sculpt looks really well done. If we can get this into focus. Yeah, this guy does not want to focus. All right, there. That's a little bit better. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so this is the clown I remember. You know, he had like a million teeth, that really wide grin, and the red eyes. Very cool. His head kind of spins around. Does he look up or down? A little bit. His arms, they're articulated. This one's very smooth. They go out. They bend at the elbow. They swivel at the wrist, and then they also bend at the wrist. The waist is articulated as well. And then there's movement at the legs, the knees. It's almost pointless articulating his legs because they're so short and he's so like stubby that you're not gonna really be able to get him into like, you know, like a running pose. You know, this guy's just gonna stand 90% of the time just like flat on his feet. But yeah, it's a wild figure. I do appreciate the fact that they gave us this cool accessory, but there's a part of me that kind of feels like they should have went a different route, and instead they should have done what they did with the Spawn, the movie version of the clown, which we have right here. This figure came out back in 1997. It's my favorite clown figure ever. The clown is portrayed by actor John Leguizamo, but I kind of feel like instead of having this crazy backpack, they should have given us the same accessories they gave the old Spawn movie figure, where you can attach these separate pieces so he could like transform into the Violator. So this, you'd take this and cover it over his head, and then he came with like claws. So you'd be able to transform him into that, his alternate ego, or his alter ego, the Violator. But again, I do appreciate the fact they gave us this. If you're a customizer or kit basher and you have no use for this, you could easily just kit bash this into some sort of like crazy vehicle or an accessory for something else. Again, it's ridiculous. It's very top heavy, and every time I move it, it feels like it's gonna break. So yeah, it's like listening to the joints crack it's very unnerving. But I do appreciate the fact that some thought went into this, and they gave us this very cool yet impractical accessory. And let's try to fold it back down. So give me a second. Yeah, I can hear that noise. It's not good. I don't like that sound. All right, so let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.